We talk about Southbury justice, and maybe we don't talk about justice enough. And the hallmark of justice in our country, from my point of view, was the formation of the Department of Justice. That wasn't something the founders thought about. It only came about in 1870. And specifically, it came about because President Grant, who had fought the Civil War and was firm in his understanding that we fought the Civil War for one reason, to eliminate slavery. You often hear all these other issues, oh, it's about state rights. No, it was about slavery. And he was aghast when he became president some 15 years later to see how the South had gone back on all of the things that he had fought for, that he'd seen men and women die for. We had the Constitution changed with the amendments, I think it's 14, 15, and 16. I think I got the numbers right. And the South, who had agreed to come back into the United States by obeying the Constitution, was flouting it. The Attorney General position existed, but he had no department. He had no real staff. He had no ability to enforce. So we created the Department of Justice to do actually the work we're doing today. But unfortunately, and the Department of Justice has had many challenges over the years. It hasn't been always the white knight we might expect. It's done a lot of phenomenal work, too, during the civil rights era of the 60s, as well as in the 19th century. But now we have seen what we're now calling this weaponization of the Department of Justice. We heard that term used before Trump came into office because that's what Trump said was being done, but he never provided any evidence of that. But now, as he's done so often before, what he says other people are doing becomes exactly what he does. And so we have now an Attorney General who has made a laughingstock of so many of the things I assume we're going to hear from our future speaker who's to be here today about the rule of law. I'm no fan of John Bolton, believe me. I've seen him as a philosophical threat by the things he said as a foreign policy advisor to George W. Bush. But not only did he have his home raided as part of an investigation, but it was done in such a way that before anybody even looked at what they took from his home, the Attorney General basically came out and basically declared him guilty. We don't know guilty of what at this point, because nobody has seen what was in the search warrant. We don't know what the evidence is. We've also seen the president besmirch him, if that's the right word, but belittle him and call him names regarding this search, implying he is guilty. Again, we don't do that in this country. We all grew up with the idea you're presumed innocent until proven guilty. They have completely flipped that. And so much as the president seems intent on taking the Department of Defense and making it the War Department, he is also, if not in words, has taken our Department of Justice and made it into the Department of Injustice. And I think we need to follow that carefully over the coming months.